Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Astrology for Beginners. This is a discussion of the mystical meaning of the symbol for Virgo. It is video number 12 of 30 to be produced in the series of Astrology for Beginners, and they can all be found on the playlist in my channel very easily. It's set out like a table of contents. One of them, there's only about 4 or 5 headings there. One of them is Astrology for Beginners, and you can dive in and look at what you want. I would suggest, however, that when you go through the planets and through the signs, that at least once go through them from beginning to end in sequence, because that way the spiritual plot unfolds. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get talking about Virgo. Well, under the sixth zodiac impulse, the soul becomes, completely immersed in matter, which is necessary to accelerate the evolutionary movement of the soul. But such an involvement can produce physical hardships. The sixth sign, Virgo, produces difficult conditions very often. And you ask yourself, well, why is that the case? Well, it is so that one is able to externalize the latent attributes of the soul. And by latent, I mean they're there, they just haven't been fully developed or expressed yet. They haven't come out into the open. So hardship enables the externalization of the latent attributes of the soul. Now, at this stage, the feminine creative principle that was differentiated during the previous zodiacal impulse, which was that of Leo. You'll recall that we spoke about that in Leo. Well, now that creative principle is given a direction, and it is given a purpose, a direction to follow. And the direction to follow is that there is a new task that is presented, and the new task very simply requires the bearing, the carrying of the material cross. The material cross needs to be borne with a sense of dedication and commitment. And you'll obviously see those attributes exemplified in people with ascendants and sun in Virgo. Now, under the Virgo impulse, material attachment. We're really right into matter here when we're in Virgo. We've come from the beginning in Aries, and we're coming right into matter by the time that we get into Virgo. We're here. We're at the theme park. We've come through the front doors and we're looking for the candy floss, and we're saying, what is there? Well, under this Virgo impulse, the material attachment creates a strong physical bondage, I suppose, but in the inner nature, the manifesting soul is aware of the possibility of liberation from physical bondage. Now, consciousness is fettered at this stage, but it does possess an awareness that bondage can be released by an understanding of the relationship between spirit and matter. Let's have a look at the symbol for Virgo. I think you should be able to see that without any difficulty. And the character of the sign is really quite well expressed by this mystical, thousands of years old symbol of Virgo. It consists of 3 parts. There are 3 vertical lines, 1, 2, 3. Straightforward, isn't it? There is a serpent-like undulating line, and it starts here, and it sort of undulates through the top there. You can say it almost runs down the side and comes through at the bottom down there. So it's a serpent-like undulating line that's there. And the third thing to notice, of course, is that where this line crosses, well, that's a cross. And you know from previous videos what a cross means. It means matter. Well, the vertical lines, what do they refer to? The vertical lines refer to consciousness and to the masculine principle. They show the positive energy that's involved with Virgo, which is the dynamic, direct, active agent that's at play and seen everywhere throughout matter, throughout the material universe. They can also refer to the 3 states of non-physical consciousness, that is, dreaming, deep sleep, and pure consciousness, which generally you intentionally arrive at through prayer or meditation. Now, the undulating snake which runs across the top here, what do we think that might make? Well, it depicts really the complexity of the Virgo nature, very often of which can produce anxiety and which can have psychological complexity associated with it, along with inner serenity and purity. The cross at the bottom, well, that's quite simply an insignia of matter. It refers to materialization and the submerging of the primeval consciousness under the physical sheath, be it a body, might be a tree, could be a star. Sometimes Virgo's finer spiritual qualities can, because of the intense materialization undergoing in this 6th zodiac impulse, they can be veiled. But the 6th impulse produces materialization. It manifests as motion and as action and reaction. And when those things act on the life principle, it also refers to and becomes karma and karmic influence. Well, that is Virgo. Until then, remember that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, it's bye for now.